Advertising is broken down into two categories: digital and traditional medium formats. Everyone has their own preferences on what they like and don't like in advertising, and in order to see if there were different trends or preferences, I conducted consumer surveys. The first age demographic I surveyed is 16 to 25-year-olds, which were made up of 52 participants. Next are the 26 to 35-year-olds, consisting of 10 participants, which is the same number of participants as 36 to 45-year-olds. There were 8 46 to 55-year-old participants and 11 participants ages 56 and up. I also surveyed 9 companies to find out if what consumers and companies preferred were in line with each other. Each medium of advertising has its pros and cons, so before an advertiser uses a medium, it's important to know what the benefits and downfalls of television, digital, social, radio, and print can be before using those mediums. Radio, while not as popular as television or digital advertising, is still a mainstay and popular medium of traditional advertising. Pros of using radio include a local acceptance by the community, a low cost, and being able to select your market based off the radio station used. Cons can consist of low attention by the audience because of the use of just audio, and there can be a fragmentation of the audience you are reaching out to. Radio Ad Lab, a research firm tasked with studying radio advertising in order to create productivity, compared radio advertising to television advertising as well as print advertising. The results shown that radio advertising gave a better feel of being trustworthy, a sense of reaching out to them, being more personal, and a better sense of community than television and print advertising. Television uses many ways to advertise, from commercials to product placement, and is the most popular medium of advertising. The pros of television include a vast target audience, can be relatively cheap considering its audience, and uses at least 2 of the user's senses, making the viewer more attentive. There are cons to using television as well. For example, it's difficult to make changes or even hit your target market. According to the Diffusion Group, 18 to 24-year-olds prefer watching live broadcast 29% of the time, compared to watching digital television 33% of the time. With each age after 25 gradually preferring live broadcast over digital, ages 55 and up preferring live broadcast 61% of the time, compared to preferring digital television 4% of the time. Digital and social media are gaining steam on television over the years. Social media has many advantages, such as building relationships with customers and giving your brand a personality, learning about your customers, and gaining feedback, as well as being free to start. However, there are its negatives, such as consuming a lot of time and taking a while to see results, and there's a risk of negative backlash. The Boston Consulting Group conducted research on digital advertising. They talked about the evolution of digital advertising and how it started with advertising on a large scale, then being able to specify who is targeted, but now in its third state, advertisers are able to use data to target its market on a large scale through digital advertising. They noticed an improvement of 30 to 50% on average in the cost per action, while cutting costs by 32% by using data in order to reach engaged audiences. Now, as for my research, I asked consumers which mediums they preferred, and the results were substantially leaning towards television and digital advertising. 31% of all participants preferred television, while 38% of participants preferred digital advertising. And while 16% of participants preferred television the least, none of the participants said they thought digital advertising was a waste of time. By asking the 91 participants what it is they often do during television commercials, I was able to find out that 83% of participants ignore, skip, and get up during commercials. This is staggering considering the revenue spent on television advertising in the United States in 2015 was $71.1 billion. According to my research, 16 to 25-year-olds and 36 to 45-year-olds preferred digital advertising, while 26 to 35-year-olds and 46 to 55-year-olds preferred digital and television advertising equally. And those 56 years of age and older preferred television over digital advertising. Of the 9 businesses I surveyed, 7 said they spent the most on digital and social media in their advertising efforts, and 6 out of the 9 companies use advertising to inform their audience. The average satisfaction of these companies was 4.6 out of 10. But if companies are going to spend on digital and social media the most, then 16 to 25-year-olds are likely to be the most reached audience. The problem is that 35 and younger highly prefer promotional advertising, whereas age groups that are older highly prefer informative advertising. While each medium of advertising has its purpose and place, digital is a medium of advertising that will soon take the reign as the top medium of advertising. However, in order to see maximum results, companies need to properly advertise to the generation in which is most involved with digital advertising.